that's with us that doesn't belong with us, and it's because of the mutation. I need the one right before it too, honey, please. The one that's right before this as well. This is called the veil of Caduceus. This, yeah. Right. This, believe it or not, is out of a teaching manual from one of the New Age groups. See how you have interesting words. You have white light of God behind you. Yeah. Except you don't. You've got a white light of black hole behind you, because what this is called, this black thing, it's actually, there is a large energy block. It is called the timekeeper. It's connected to the timekeeper crystal in your head. And what it has to do with is an artificial vector. And that's what was created here by the Caduceus network and the rest of the things it's plugged into. Where if our natural projection line for this vector is that way, right? This is the Eirodonis body. And the physical body is supposed to face the same way, right? Where it's behind you, right? They're facing the same direction. That's why you can bring it in, and that's the first part, where the spirit body would be directly in the same vector behind in the Adore side. This one is out at a completely different angle, as if you're standing off to an angle, so you can't directly bring it unless you call it in to being the natural spirit body and the Eirodonis body, because you're literally standing at an angle to it that creates an electromagnetic repulsion between the spirit body and the frequencies that's made out of, and the physical body, and it creates an interference field. It's called the veil of Caduceus, that is a field that allows for direct overshadow, where FAs can come in and hang out with you, give you thoughts, make you do stuff, come in and out as they see fit. And it does more too. But the important thing is, it actually has created an artificial time vector that is pointing us backwards. We're supposed to be moving forward in our vector through time, into accretion, into growing. It's actually making us shrink and bringing us back toward Atlantis, because it's actually being run from both the hibernation zones, where Atlantis is now, and also from the Atlantean periods, where they learned how to break through into the future and attack things that were in future time vectors. So this is happening now in the Atlantis before it got hibernation zoned as well. And it's being run from several points in several probable Atlantises simultaneously, kind of like parallel Earths and stuff, where you have a bunch of, there's a version of Earth here and a version of Earth here, and they're all a little bit different, but they know each other, right? That is what they've done with Atlantis. And they are literally marching us off to those destinations. What we're going to do, one of the things that will result from this, I just want the one with the mess, yeah. I'll talk more about this when we get back. But this is the axiotonal line grid from the Kathara manual, right? The one where, yeah, that's a tilt. Yes, it is. The original line numbers, it was based on this shield. This is the shield, what it does to our shields, and it creates this mess. This is a mess. The axiotonal lines, as they have been, which is what we had published in the first place, because you couldn't change them then. There wasn't enough frequency to do anything except try to modulate the mess, right? They are on this shield distortion, where you have what would be a normal axis being split, just like the big grid that was split and it created those reversals of energy. You'd go to a certain half spin and then it'd come back again the other way and come back in the other. All right, that made a mess of the axiotonal lines. It creates this harness field of our natural biofields that's based on the unnatural yin-yang that actually does create the harness field. And it's what's holding that unnatural alignment between our spirit bodies and Eirodonis and the veil of Caduceus hanging over, that's actually behind us because of this formation. When we complete these activations, we will, for the first time, I don't know since when, I think possibly from seeding 2, is in seeding 1, this has been one of the curses from seeding 1. Where is the one right next to that showed the solution? And then we'll go. Yeah, this is one of the things that for the first time we will be able to do. And it's restoring the original imprint of the Aquafereion humans from the Navajo from seeding 2, we become comfortable, we become able to run the natural crystal river flows, the core flows, and the core lavas. It literally puts us back online with the natural spin of the density shields. I haven't got the line numbers in yet, but notice something here. On the other grid, we have those things that interface with our lotus points that we use in the K23 manual. The lotus points are natural points, but what happens through them right now isn't. They're constricted at each of those points. When we get these flows back, these natural flows, they're called the Illyrian flows. They have to do with the Illyrian chambers that are literally what runs through each of those density shields and also through our entire field, are those sets of 12 fire chambers that allow for natural solar symbiosis to happen with UV light. And yes, our sun still gives off UV light, and the hydrolase waves are beginning to come in from Eartha. So we will be able to rapidly heal and literally bring our BPRs back up to where they should have been at age 33. It'll take a while, but we are beginning that process. This is what we will leave here with when we leave. And it's the first time in this seeding this has been ever here. And I have a feeling it might have been the only time it was in seeding 2, because there was mutations in the race lines already from the mess in seeding 1, were the race lines of the Navajo that were the ones that came in to give bioregenesis to the angelic, human, and indigo tribes. So we are getting this flow back that will give us back our natural yin-yun flows, like our butterfly wings, and it will do all sorts of wonderful things, but the most wonderful thing is it will put us back into natural alignment with our Eirodonis body behind us and our spirit body behind that, where we can do the natural resurrection technologies enough to where the body matter will be able to hold the Eirodonis like it's supposed to, because you're supposed to bring it in. First it'll be in for an eighth for a cycle, and then a quarter, and then a half, and then eventually you integrate the whole Eirodonis, which opens up the Adori side and the Asatori side together, brings them together into the Hare Krishna state, and then you get to go into the Adashi Starfire turnaround. So we're getting back on the natural process. This is the first time that this has been here in human form since seeding 1. It has been hosted in, because the Aquafereions have this structure. So I just wanted you to see this. When we go to begin the processes now, this is one of the big benefits we will have. What this is literally part of the opening of the Hall of Records. The Hall of Records are the Illyrian chambers, and we'll see what they are when we get back, but it's more important that we get and catch the activations. This is a celebration like we've never had here since seeding 1. They've been wanting to be able to do this since seeding 1, which 5.5 million years ago was when we started to get our little dweller on the threshold there, the shift in the shield that created that veil of Caduceus. So we are freeing ourselves from the veil of Caduceus, and we will spread that healing as far as we can. Let's go check out the kivas up in slide 3.